attached to it by the government. They tell us you get Hep C from sex and drugs and wag their disapproving fingers. What they're saying is that people who have Hep C are to blame for their own illness because of irresponsible behaviour in the past. Blaming the victim is a tactic used by government in order to justify its own failure to do its duty, which in this case is to tackle the Hep C epidemic.
Dear Helen Christmas, thank you for sending me Hepatitis C strategy for England. It was good for a laugh. Does it concern you that in all 44 pages of Hepatitis C strategy for England, there is no strategy for dealing with Hepatitis C? Are you embarrassed? Did you know that France, which has a similar population to that of the UK, has done studies and found 1.2% of the people are infected? This is about 800,000 people. Did you know that they are now in France testing as many people as possible in order to control what is a serious epidemic? Why isn't this kind of strategy employed in the UK? Why is it not even suggested? No doubt the Chief Medical Officer, Liam Donaldson, knows very little about hepatitis C, despite having signed his name to this ludicrous Strategy for England document. But having signed his name to it, he ought to take responsibility and resign. After the long wait and all the consultations, this is disgraceful. Hepatitis C is a horrible disease which ruins people's lives. It needs to be taken seriously, not swept under the carpet.
There are several different strains of the virus. These are called genotypes. The four main genotypes are called 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you are genotype 2 or 3, you have a 70% chance of clearing the virus, but if you are 1 or 4, you don't. Before you decide on treatment, find out your genotype.
If you are genotype 2 or 3, I recommend treatment as soon as possible. Dangerous diseases require dangerous cures. But if you are genotype 1 or 4, your chance of clearing the virus on current treatment is only 40%. It may be wiser to mitigate your symptoms with diet, exercise, supplements and holistic treatments such as homeopathy and Chinese medicine, and wait for medical science to find a cure.
There are many alternative treatments for Hep C, and opinions differ as to their effectiveness. Chinese medicine is the most popular. Ayurvedic medicine also has its adherents, and though there are some cases of individuals clearing Hep C using these holistic therapies, these are rare. The best outcomes occur when chemotherapy and holistic treatments are combined. Other alternative treatments include blood cleaning, a procedure where the blood is extracted from the body, passed through an oxygenator, oxygen kills the virus, and returned to the body. Blood cleaning reduces viral load but doesn't cure the illness, because the virus lives and replicates in parts of the body not touched by blood cells. However, some wealthy individuals are able to enjoy a normal life by having their blood cleaned every 9 months or so. Clinical hypothermia also reduces viral load. This is a Latvian procedure which raises the patient's body temperature to about 43.8 degrees centigrade. Another approach is vibrational medicine, a Russian invention which uses sound waves to eradicate the virus. Homeopathy can also be effective in reducing the symptoms of Hep C. Certain supplements have found to be helpful, among them zinc, selenium, milk thistle, folic acid, vitamin E, omega-3, inositol, artichoke, MSM, alpha-lipoic acid, and coenzyme Q10. There are also anecdotal reports regarding the antiviral properties of the coca leaf.
There's so little research being done on Hep C that many potential antivirals have not been investigated. But progress has been made investigating the use of natural interferon extracted from human blood. In Europe, natural interferon is only available in Sweden, where a number of small trials have indicated that genotype 1 patients achieve better results on natural interferon than on the standard bioengineered version. Research has been mainly focused on blocking an enzyme known as protease, which the virus needs to replicate. Protease inhibitors for HIV have had a significant success in treating AIDS, and some drugs companies are trying to find one for Hep C. In the meantime, the World Health Organization estimates that 3 to 4 million new people are being infected with hepatitis C every year.
How is it that Britain, currently rated the 4th richest economy in the world, can't afford a better healthcare system? Is it due to waste in the NHS? Let's look at Denmark, a nation of approximately 5 million people, which in 2005 the EU's Organisation for Economic Development rated as delivering the best healthcare in Europe. Denmark has near enough the same population as Scotland and spends about the same amount as Scotland on healthcare, yet Scotland was rated as one of the worst health services in Europe. Obviously there's something wrong with the way our health system is organised and managed. For a full answer to why Britain's National Health Service, once the envy of the world, has declined so badly, I recommend Professor Alison Pollock's book, NHS plc, published by Verso. Anyway, our government has done little to combat hepatitis C, and when pressured by good members of Parliament to at least educate the public about it, has responded with misinformation, deceit and foot-dragging. About a year ago, in 2006, the Treasury finally released £5 million to inform people about hepatitis C. In the same year, it spent over £40 million to publicise digital television.
This is a scandal.
I should also probably add that there's been considerable disquiet about how the £5 million in Hep C money has been spent. Some believe it's been wasted on a woefully ineffective information campaign and a Hep C helpline which provides no help. The position of the Treasury is clear. Hepatitis C is simply too expensive a problem to deal with. It's been estimated that to treat everyone in the UK would cost approximately £12 billion. This is a lot, but if the epidemic is not brought under control, it's going to cost us all a great deal more in the future. The government's first priority must be to stop the disease spreading. There's only one way to do this: mandatory blood testing. Every one of us needs to be tested for the virus. The GPs need to call in all their patients and test them for hepatitis C. It's the only way we can get a handle on this, because for the first 20 years of infection, the symptoms of Hep C are so mild as to be virtually undetectable. Only after 20 years, when the immune system begins losing its battle against the virus, does the infected person feel sick enough to visit a doctor. But by this time, organ damage, including brain damage, has been sustained and treatment is likely to be unsuccessful. Mandatory blood testing now. The earlier you spot the disease, the easier it is to cure. Write to your MP, write to your public care trust, write to your general practitioner, write to your newspaper, call radio talk show hosts, demand mandatory blood testing for hepatitis C. Please do it, for all our sakes.